All right, so let's move on to the knee. It's not going to be as much work as I thought. Advanced Skeleton did add 2 additional joints that it distributed weights to. So I just have to do some smoothing mostly. Like this hip part is probably a good place to start. So I will do some smoothing here. Actually, maybe this would be one of those ones where I could just select a handful of edge loops, grow my selection, and do some smooth flooding. Okay, so that's about enough. Let me come down here. It looks like it's wrecking another portion. Okay, so I'll try to do this by hand in these really small areas and not extend too far up where it appears to be breaking it. Yeah, it's a really small area with a whole bunch of joints trying to influence just a handful of edges. So I have to make sure I keep my brush small so I contain my smoothing to smaller regions until everything looks nice. I'm just going to use how the topology is laid out to let me know if I've done a good job with this smoothing. So out of all of them, for this lump, I'm just finding whichever one relaxes the lump and assigning to it very little. Right, that's usually how I try to get these lumps, when kind of like I did with the scapula or clavicle. You find whichever one makes it look good, and then you assign it to that one. All right, so after some failed redistribution attempts, I'm having this issue getting a particular part of the inside to act correctly. I think I'm just going to do my own assignments. So I'm going to go to build pose and just reassign, because these are rows. It shouldn't be that difficult to just tell it to impact the vertices right in front of it. So for the first joint here, I'm going to grow my selection to about there, maybe a little more. Yeah, that looks like a good region. And then I'm going to go into my weight painting tool and assign my knee, first knee additional, a full weighting of 1. Go flood. And just do the same thing down the line. This is basically what I also did for the neck, if you remember. advanced skeleton knee, get a full influence here. So this should be very messy if I was to test it out. Yeah, it should be very weird and jaggedy, but now I can just go in there and start smoothing until I get better results. Testing. All right, so with a great deal of smoothing in that area, I at least got somewhat of a better result or distribution between these four joints. A huge part of it is also that when this leg bends, what I'm expecting to happen in this small area, to have four different joints impacting that is a lot. So it made it very difficult to paint. But even still, there needs to be some more work done to assign this actual calf to this joint. I'm not so worried about what's going to happen in here because it's all going to be corrective deformation, right? The inside part of that, when the leg is about this high, I'm going to have to reshape with a particular S curve that is prominent. When you fold your leg like this, there's like a bulge. The calf takes charge, and then it creates like this bulge, this S shape like this. And then there's going to be some more corrective work done here and more around it just to make it work. But the calf has to occupy that space. And with this corrective deformation, this one is very, very important that whatever I end up with has no penetration whatsoever, right? I don't want any end cloth trapped here. It'll be horrible when it tries to release itself. So I'm going to do some additional work here of assigning this part of the calf to this joint. I'm going to do it very gingerly with an add and 0.01. Come over here and slowly give it assignment to plump it up, because that corrective deformation is going to start triggering a lot higher up, right? When the leg is bent like this, I'm going to have to count on skinning for it to look correct. And there's a plan that you're going to see me use to trigger at specific regions so that this thing behaves more believably as the leg bends. Okay, so that seems pretty nice. Plumping up of the calf. And this is one of those things where I should be working to protect everything else that I've painted. So let me just contain this plumping up of the calf to this region. I actually saw some corrective deformation of a calf on the Tekken. I think in the corrective deformation video that I showed you, there was an example of corrective deformation on a Tekken 8 character, and I should probably show it on the screen, but they do some calf corrective deformation. It looks really cool as there's flexion and extension in the foot. You can see the calf bulging and not bulging. So maybe we'll do some of that too. I might attempt some of that. I'll add it to the list. And up here, I think I'm also going to find what assignment is going to allow for a better gradation or better tapering off. I think this knee has to have some influence here. So I'll do that. I'll protect everything else by selecting like so, and then start adding influence to this knee just to get a nice little tapering off. Okay, so I think that that's a good tapering, and for a skinning result, this is not bad. That's not bad. So all the magic will be at the corrective deformation stage. And yeah, I think I'm going to add calf flexion to the list of things for corrective deformation, because it'd be nice if this was bending, you see the calf flexing and releasing. Right. Yeah, so I think that's this is a good result for the knee for now. Not bad. Time to move on to the bend controls.